What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, what moved it, and where it might be heading next. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO did go down slightly, 0.61%, kind of aligned with a lot of the other Chinese EVs that went down roughly the same. 508 the high, 490 the low, so kind of bouncing off of a key support level, so I'll go over that in a second. Today we did see very low volume, so 26.2 million shares being traded. Not really that much in news, so no articles, no speculative things. A lot of articles kind of coming out, and oddly enough, even on social media, people comparing NIO versus American EVs. So I feel like just a lot of people are getting frustrated with NIO just based on it hitting all the necessary milestones and still really failing to get above $5. So I think, again, that's one thing that I've stated from the beginning of covering NIO is just Wall Street really does hate NIO, and institutions just don't want to touch it for right now. So even today, absolutely no transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. Latest 13Fs, again, kind of signal within Q4. There wasn't really that much activity, as you can kind of see right here. This does put it in perspective, just on a side note. So it does have NIO, XPeng, GM, Rivian, and Lucid. So you can kind of see from the PS ratio. So even though they did put out news saying that they are profitable, we haven't had their earnings just to see some of the true numbers behind the scenes. So for companies that aren't profitable, you want to look at the PS. So right now, NIO is sitting at 1.07. XPeng 1.7, GM 0.42, Rivian 3.9, and then Lucid 2.9. So in reality, even if it's comparing to Lucid, then it should be pretty much around the $12, $13 range at the very bare minimum. So, and just to put it in comparison, Lucid, like they hit, I think it was just over about 18,000 deliveries in or production in 2025. NIO pretty much passed that in 1 month. So it's absolute craziness. And again, just seeing everything, you see just them hit profitability, hit milestone after milestone, but yet still consider a penny stock under $5. So it definitely does have some annoying price action, and that's kind of saying it lightly. Aside from that, looking at shorts, they did increase 372,000 shares. 7.05% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 143.7 million shares overall are being shorted. Still see some signs of naked shorting occurring. So there is more shares being shorted than on loan. But if we kind of look here, there was some recent activity. So this did go down quite significantly and then jumped back up. So some institutions are kind of trading it. And most likely a lot of that was done through the dark pool. So the last couple of videos I did do for NIO, you can kind of see that there was a lot of kind of large transactions occurring on the dark pool, and even right here, numerous 25,000 share transactions. So hedge funds most likely are the culprits on what is happening and who's lending out stock behind the scenes. So that was kind of interesting to see. Aside from that though, I think even looking here, the fact that shorts were able to freely, for the most part, just return so much, but yet the stock price just goes down is another frustrating element. So it was around 16-17% short interest April 2025, and since then shorts have been returning pretty much consistently, as you can kind of see. And ever since September the 24th, that's where you do see some signs of naked shorting. Looking at the options, 1.7 million in calls, 893,000 in puts. 37% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. From a bull standpoint, still see a consensus for it to be above 5 to 550. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 5. So still, based on this, there's not really much movement anticipated. Like I mentioned in my video yesterday, I do feel that NIO is going to put out the date of their earnings sometime this week. So they'll announce that, and hopefully that might incentivize some institutions to buy. Right now, with it at 497, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 493 is going to be that key support. And then 508 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And conveniently, it did bounce off of that. So we know that is a kind of heavy resistance point. Based on the Elliott Wave technicals, as long as it can hold above that 50-day moving average, in general, it is anticipated to hit between that 560 and 587. So for those of you that have been patient, upside might be coming, but again, it really does need to hold this level right here, the 50-day moving average. Currently it's above both the 50 and also 10-day moving average. Both are fairly big deals for growth and momentum stocks. So again, just kind of watch for that. The 10-day moving average is sitting at 484, so that wasn't tested whatsoever today. The 50-day moving average is sitting at 486, and similarly wasn't really tested. So based on that, it kind of does show that NIO is ready to move higher. Just the biggest thing, at least in the foreseeable future, is going to be this 200-day moving average sitting at 520. If for whatever reason it can get above that, then this is where you could see a start of a larger recovery. And typically, every time NIO is broken above that 50-day moving average, I know I've brought this up in the past, you see some pretty impressive price action. So even though we haven't really had that much in news or milestones over the long weekend, still NIO might be a good time to potentially get in before institutions start kind of loading the boat. Because keep in mind, when NIO does put out their earnings and the numbers truly portray that they are profitable, then yeah, institutions might cause a little bit of FOMO to get in. But like I mentioned at the beginning, no new analyst ratings, so I'm sure a lot of that it's they're just waiting for the upcoming earnings. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. Are you buying? Are you selling? What are you generally doing? And kind of what is your viewpoint on the next big thing? Do you think that their earnings is going to be as impressive as what a lot of people are kind of assuming, or do you think it's just going to be brushed under the rug as per usual? So this is a quick summary of what happened today. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.